Welcome back to your OPL Sunday for this round 9. My name is Michael Hingisig and I'm joined here by Choo Choos and also Juves. If you're just joining us, TM, we're able to take a game off AV, but AV prevailed, winning the series 2-1. We're about to get now into our match of the week.
Final game of OPL.
Chiefs
Finish off the
taking on Direwolves. Now, this is very complex. There's a lot on the line here, Juves, especially for you, because depending on results go, Sin could finish as high as third. Legacy could finish as high as second, I believe. So let's go through it, shall we? If Chiefs are able to 2-0 today, they will take first place in the gauntlet heading in to that final series, and they will see themselves directly into that grand final.
Fun fact, Chiefs haven't won a top 4 game since last split against us.
So it's going to be very, very difficult. If Chiefs only win 2-1, however, they will go into second place. Direwolves will be the minor premiers of the OPL. Legacy will be third, and Sin will be fourth. If Chiefs are 1-2'd by Direwolves, that means your boys here, Legacy, Aaron, they are able to take second place. Direwolves still minor premiers. Chiefs are third, Sin are fourth, but this is the one you want, Juves.
The best looking graphic.
This is the best
Direwolves 2-0 Chiefs today, then Sin will come third. Best finish ever for Sin.
I'm the most unbiased analyst on this desk. I'm looking for some good, clean League of Legends 2-0 from Direwolves.
All right, so let us very, very quickly run through this before we get into it. Obviously, Chiefs, they are, they've won everything up until last split, and then the Direwolves last split were able to take something from them. I mean, obviously, you guys were able to win something back in the day.
A while ago.
Yeah, back in the day.
Before
you were washed up.
Does it even count?
Jeeves, you were there. You're on my team.
It counts. It counts. Good on us. Good on us, dude. Yes.
So before we get into the game, just give me a quick preview. As we get right into this lineup right now, the Chiefs getting ready to get into this game. Let's take a look at their lineup, shall we? Their top laner, the Armored Titan himself, is Swiper. Their jungler is Spooks. Best or worst use of Rift Herald Juves? Swiffer is their mid laner.
He admitted he was the worst up there.
Absolutely. Their AD carry, the perfect player, is Raze. And Ejim is their support player. See Coach Jish, friend of the show, in the background there. I'm expecting some spicy picks out of them today.
We know Jish can pull out some cheese. I think they were the first team to pull out the Cogmore.
He doesn't like the word cheese, though, coming from you.
Oh, I don't care. Like,
Ooh.
cheese is cheese.
Say to him IRL.
Actually, no, cheese.
At him.
I would think I use cheese.
Their opponents are last splits minor premiers and then major premiers, indeed. Direwolves. Were they minor premiers? Yes, they were. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they were.
Let's go through their lineup, shall we? Chippies is their top laner. Their jungler is Schönfire. Their mid laner, Richard Sue Fantix, I believe Spawn's favourite player of all time.
Glasses.
King is their AD carry, and Destiny, friend of the show and the desk, is their support player. Looking very focused here.
Yeah, I mean, the last time these guys met was at the very start of the split, and it was 2-1.
Fantix wearing glasses in that.
New glasses.
Groovy.
For
Groovy Fantix.
Groovy Fantix.
All right, let me get you guys' predictions because I want to get into this game as quickly as possible. Choose who's going to win this one.
I think it will go 3 games, but I think
Don't break Juves' heart.
But I think Direwolves are too strong, and Chiefs will pull out a cheesy comp and pull 1 game.
Cheesy. I've heard too much cheese. What's going on?
I've said it twice on the desk.
Are your dreams going to come true today, Juves?
My heart says it's a Direwolf win 2-1, but I'm going with my
your inner heart.
No, sorry, my brain says that, and then my heart says Direwolves 2-0. I've completely butchered that. I've butchered it.
But he wants 2-0. He wants a 2-0.
Let's take a look at your tips, opltips.com.au, and the majority of people, by some margin, say that Direwolves are going to take this. Only 15% of, only 10% of people think it's going to be a Chiefs 2-0. I'd like to see what the casters think of that.
That 15% is Sin fans, by the way,
Sin
on
fans.
the 2-0.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Please do let us know. I should say as well, Uber Eats is the one sponsoring that tipping comp. And
love some Uber Eats.
Yeah,
Did you do something shady?
OPL
I did do something shady.
You did do something shady. Do you want to say that again for us?
Let's move along. Put in that code. Get your voucher.
What are you doing?
I didn't. I was fine. Look, it's fine. They just don't check the second account. They don't. I can't be expected to not try and rot the system. All right.
You're a bad influence.
Do send us your tweets as well. #ImOPL or via Twitch chat. Let us know what NPC you would add to the Rift and what it would do. We'll speak about your tweets in the analytical segments. Now, before we get into the game, earlier this week, we spoke to both teams about what it would mean for either of them to take this minor premiership. Let's see what they had to say.
I think the matchup for us, Chiefs vs Dials, is like the Klitschko brothers. We've got the boxing champion, Vitaly, and then we've got Vladimir, the new champion, which is us. So I'm just happy to have them next to us, but I think their time is up.
At the end of last split when they won, they were the best team. And now I feel like they've just stagnated. And I think their honeymoon phase with Schönfire has like come to an end. We're, if not ahead, like a lot closer to parity than we were before.
I never underestimate them because of what they've achieved in the past. I know they can always bounce back.
We lost one split. Like Chiefs have won like everything, and then like we come fourth, and everyone's just like, "Oh, Chiefs aren't good anymore." Like, is this it? And I think like this is our like redemption split.
I actually do think the Chiefs will surprise us, and the games will actually be quite difficult. Last split, like Swiper was quite easy for me, but now he's actually really stepped it up, and I think it'll be a good matchup between me and him.
I'm really aggressive this split. It's sort of like the style that I've embraced. It's like my Trendemir, like split push style. Like in the past, I'd be the team player, but I like to view myself more as like a really big carry threat. And then like if the team doesn't look at me properly, like I will run over the game.
He's a lot better than every other top laner, but I think the same gap between him and those top laners is the same gap between me and him. I think I'm just above him still.
Week 1, we beat them barely, and this time it's going to be unrelenting 2-0.
I think the whole like anything less than a 2-0 like is a disappointment thing is just like it's just overdone, right? Like no one like cool whatever. It doesn't matter how you win, right? As long as you win. So that's what we're looking to do.
I think Chiefs actually they started going uphill at the start of the split, and then I think losing to Sin just broke them mentally.
It's in the back of our minds that we actually haven't won an important game in over a split now. To not win this, I think it would hurt our mentalities a lot going into Gauntlet. So I think it's like if we get a 2-0, like it would be super beneficial to us mentally.
I don't think that they've looked anywhere near as dominant as we did during like our peak performance. Like I don't think you'll ever see a team as dominant as we were.
They used to be the team that wanted it the most, but now like there's so many more players, like the Direwolves, like, everyone just wants it a lot more than them. Unless they get more motivation and actually like play their hearts out, they're not going to take the spot off us.
Growing up, I looked up to some of these players as players I wanted to play with, and now I'm giving the opportunity to play against them in the final match of the season to get first. And for me, this is the new dog in, the old dog out.
Like if they won this split, obviously, like I would call them the best team in Oceania. I think it would be hard to compare them to what we were, but they definitely would be the strongest team in the region.
I realised today that I'm actually 5 wins away from Worlds, so I'm not going to let the Chiefs stop me from my goal.
I feel bad that they don't get to do what they want to do on their way out, but this is competition, this isn't a birthday party, so unfortunately I'm on the roadblock.
Go, heard it right there from Chippy's 5 wins away from Worlds. Now actually
4. Yeah.
So they only need to pick up a 2-1 here today. And, you know, in the grand finals, it's going to be interesting to watch. But we're getting into the match of the week and the final match of the regular split of the OPL. It's going to be the inverse of game number 1 to start us off. It's going to be Chiefs taking on Direwolves.
And what a match to finish on. I mean, both these teams coming in absolutely hot. I mean, the Chiefs haven't beaten a team in the top 4 since week 7, week 6 last split when they were able to take down Sin 2-1. However, Direwolves did also falter against Legacy. So we'll see what is on their mind as they come into this one. Early game jungling is going to be crucial for Schön, because I think that is when he is at his dangerous.
And we already see...
I think in team fights, he's kind of underwhelming against Fish, which is how he came into the OPL.
And we've already seen Chiefs try to target that. First ban from them is Elise, not allowing Schönfire to have that early game jungling champion.
I'm also so excited to see what Richard Su is able to pull out. Fantix, it was mentioned on the desk, one of my favorite players ever. I've always been a massive fan of Fantix, and going up against Swiffer in what is a clutch game, I really want to see what... He's been my MVP this split so far, and I think he's going to have to perform very well against the mid laner of the Chiefs to get it done.
And already very heavy target bans from the two teams. Thresh towards Destiny, Rakan and Ejim with Galio towards Swiffer and Cassidy. First round bans here that we don't usually see.
No, I think we're going to see a very different kind of game played. We've already seen so many times that Direwolves are happy to pick Cassidy on red side first round and then start target banning away the counters. They've also been very happy to do it with Jace for Chippies up there in the top lane. So we'll see exactly who gets it. Kalista, Maokai, both left open, and it will be the Maokai to kick us off.
Yeah, over the Kalista for the Chiefs. Let's see if the Direwolves have anything planned for their first draft phase. Cassiopeia was banned out towards Swiffer. We see this a lot against good Cassiopeia players. Faker is the most obvious that comes to mind.
Say it ain't so, Fish.
It's
Say
gonna
it
happen.
ain't so.
Nothing's changed. Kog'Maw, Lulu, Twitch Jana, let's go.
Please just play Kalista Alistar. I am so sick and tired of this support meta. Kalista is still available. Tristana Braum would also be very good against this kind of composition, Fish. Ejim's even taken his hands off his keyboard.
Tristana Blitzcrank, let's go.
Yeah, play the Blitz. That's a very good point. Play the Blitz.
Hook the Lulu. She's running gold pretend Quints as well as yellows. Will have next to no health or armor. Well, let's see. Chiefs now have to round out their draft phase. Usually this is probably, but instead they prioritize Swipe as champion of Gnar.
So they just feel like they have enough to be able to go into it. We've already listed them off. Leona can be played. Alistar can be played. Braum can be played. There are so many kill lanes still left up and available that the Gnar's actually a very smart call because it is definitely Swiper's best champion at the moment.
Dials will pick up the flex pick of Gragas for either Shurnfire or Chippies.
4 mid lane bans. Let's go. Maybe also, you know, something like a Camille or Fiora will get taken away from Chippies.
Yeah, potentially.
Has lacked a split push in the past, and if Corki is up and available, they'll be more than happy to just lock that one in for Fantix in the mid lane.
In respect of Blitzcrank being banned out from the Direwolves. I mean, they should know that it's a big counter pick. They used it to tear apart Rosie's Bard. The bottom lane saying no, it can be done against weaker supports. Camille is the first ban from the Chiefs, so they do take it away from Chippies.
Jack's also a potential ban. Don't know how he really does into Gnar. I feel like Gnar would beat him, but I think Gnar beats every melee.
Tarek, the next ban for the Direwolves?
Ejim is like, thank goodness. Because whilst Tarek is very good, Ejim hates playing it. And it's not that he's a bad Tarek fish. He just thinks that Tarek is a stupid champ.
Ejim has very strong opinions about everything in League of Legends, all the way down to skins.
No, trust me, he has strong opinions about everything in life. If it exists in this planet, he has an opinion on it.
He was asking you something about cherry ripes earlier.
He was. Strong opinion on cherry ripe. He said, if I hand you a cherry ripe, what's your response? And I said, I would like that. And he was like, yes! All my team says they suck, but I love them. I was like, oh my goodness. Corki also gets taken off the board, so getting rid of Richard's safest blind pick.
I also agree with the rest of the Chiefs. Lucian does get locked in here for Direwolves. Fantix should play that in the mid lane.
LeBlanc, Zed, I think counters beat Lucian. We'll see whether Swiffer agrees.
LeBlanc is one of the main counters into Lucian mid lane. Can match the wave clear, has good kill threat.
Malzahar would not be bad, but I don't think it's going to be played.
Probably not. Let's see what they decide to pick up. Instead, Morgana
support
gets locked in for the Chiefs.
Yep. The ability to withstand some of the CC that's going to come out of Gragas for Raze to be able to maneuver around these fights also allows Swiper to get in if he wants to with the big Mega Gnar and not be popped up by Destiny's ultimate.
Good use of the Dark Binding as well to try and create picks. Final pick for the Chiefs is going to be Orianna.
Boring.
So stock standard for them. Morgana making its way back into the OPL. Has seen a lot of play internationally.
Yep.
And now final pick for the Wolfpack.
So Lucian beats Orianna. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fishery.
Yes. Stomps the lane.
So we'll have to see whether Swift is able to play it. Because Fantix obviously takes a lot of inspiration from the Korean solo queue.
Ooh, it's a Lucian top for Chippies. Victor picked up for Fantix in the mid lane.
I didn't see that coming. Not going to lie. I'm not going to say I called it at all. Okay, so Lucian into Gnar.
Wow. That's a good matchup for Lucian.
Is it?
I mean, Gnar is much shorter range. Usually relies on Boomerang as well as Hyperprox to beat melee matchups. Lucian has no problem dodging Boomerang Blades and has higher range than Gnar. Lucian is a low-range AD carry. Mid-lane control main matchup, that should be dead even.
Can't you just go like Sunfire Cape into tank? Like,
probably
why do you need to bully him out?
Or does disrupt Gnar's build path. He doesn't like going for Sunfire Cape. He wants the double AD item.
Probably can just go, I don't know. We'll have to see how it progresses. Obviously, Chippies is very comfortable in the counter pick. Swiper is a big Gnar player, so they must have known this was coming, so they've obviously scouted it. They've also, you know, got a fairly good matchup into Orianna. I think that they've kind of put themselves in a corner here, Fish. And the reason I think that is because Lucian mid beats Orianna. And now they're running a tankless lineup into a team fighting Chiefs composition. Really, all they have is Gragas. And Shern, in my opinion, is probably not the best tank jungler we have in the league at the moment.
Fair enough. We'll have to see how this one works out. It seems like Jish was correct in sticking to his guns, picking up the Orianna mid lane. Turns out it worked out well for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, they let the counter pick go, right? So I don't know whether it was Jish scouting it or whether Sharp just saying, we've got something that can answer this. Fantix is a very good Victor player. So I think in a control mage versus control mage matchup, he'll be completely comfortable.
No, Swiffer should be very happy with this as well. You know, he'll be able to farm up. Not too much action very early on in the match. Maokai in the jungle against Gragas. Both of them have very good gank potential. And eventually, Fantix is going to die mid lane thanks to how Maokai works in that interaction.
Flash W, he's going to get shockwaved and he's probably going to get 100%ed.
Well, let's see how this game pans out. Top lane Lucian. We have Morgana making its way back into the OP as well. This is going to be a fun game. And just to make it even more exciting, we're going to delay the suspense a bit more.
Yeah.
As we go into a pause.
So I want to point out quickly that Egypt has started Biscuits, and it has been Rejuve being picked up for Destiny. So if binds start hitting Destiny, this could be some fireworks in the bottom lane. Swiper is smacking his hands together for some reason. Don't hurt him, young fella. Chippy's on your screen. Actually, probably the most articulate we've heard Chippy's in that interview before the game. I've been excited about Chippy's for a very long time.
Very confident man.
Was a substitute, then went over to Sin for a little while. Now, obviously, back on the Direwolves. I think it's long overdue that he is turning into such a monster in the top lane.
And rightfully so. No one has really been able to contest against him. Yes, when Series was first introduced, he went toe-to-toe to him in his first 5 weeks of amazing play, and since then, only really Swiper has been able to contest in that top lane matchup, and Chippies has kind of admitted to that Swiper is the stronger top laner out of the rest, but he still thinks that he's miles ahead in terms of top lane play in comparison, and he's on the Lucian top with the Doran Shields, and let's see how he does. For now, though, let's check in with Coach Jish, who is standing by with Sarianne.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Jish. Now, the Direwolves picked Victor in the mid lane. Is this something that you guys have come across in scrims at all?
I think Victor, yeah, since all of the majority of mages got nerfed on this patch, Victor's a bit more common, I guess. Yeah, I think that it's not necessarily a great pick into Ori. I think it's like a kind of standard lane and just sort of go even and scale into late game.
And the casters were talking about that Gnar Lucian matchup. Who do you think comes out on top?
We were actually surprised that they put Lucian top. We were quite convinced it was mid, which is why we picked Ori. But I think that it went top because it's good into Gnar during the lane phase. Gnar's a bit of a bully because of his range, then Lucian's just better at that. But I don't think it scales as well. Obviously, it's not a frontliner, so later in the game, I think Gnar has the advantage.
Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, and best of luck with the series.
Thank you.
That was the most he's ever given away in an interview. He's waited for week 10, but he's finally done it. We see a 4-man stack and invade coming through on bottom side here for the Direwolves.
So
see whether they go for Raptors potentially into red. They could take everything away if they wanted to.
So they spot out Raptors has not been started. Instead, Spooks will try to take blue buff away. Chippy's already giving them hell.
Yep.
That should slowly be taken away. Red buff is stolen away by Direwolves with no vision coming out from the Chiefs.
I mean, they have to know because they're going to come through the wrong side of lane here. So I don't think this is going to be all that surprising. Spooks actually stops at Wolves, which I think is a big no-no.
Now Shenfire is going to be able to take the Raptors' way as well. Let's see if Spooks reads the play.
Yep. He doesn't. I mean, I already said it, so I don't think Spooks should have stopped there. I think this has actually now put him so far behind in the jungle. Shern's got full health. He's going to go back down towards bottom lane as well. So Spooks is going to be trailing him. We'll see whether Shern can get the cheesy level 2 gank or whether he just do-si-does around a little bit.
Seems like he's just trying to track the Maokai at the moment, who will move over towards Krugs and pick up that camp. So Shernfire's done a good job. CS scores is even at the moment, so to speak. EXP is even and slightly in Spook's favor once he takes the Krug camp, but Shern has his entire jungle to farm now.
Exactly right, and that's what it comes down to. You're going to see Egypt try and get vision over where he is, chuck a ward down onto the blue buff as well as a Grump, so spots both camps are still available. We'll take the blast cone back out. if you black shield yourself, but you hit the blast cone, do you move? These are all the questions I need to ask myself about Morgana.
There was a hot fix on that.
Was
So
there?
if I'm not mistaken, if someone else hits the blast cone, you will not. But if you hit it, you will.
Okay, and with shove priority here, Shern's going to be a little bit slower taking this camp. You can see that Spooks wants to get in there. Shern does smite it away and will be able to get out. Yep. So it will be spotted. But Spooks still not all that far behind until Shern gets towards his top side of his jungle, which he is doing now. So good tempo advantage for the Direwolves jungler.
Very big from Shernfire. It's going to keep him behind for
See,
some time.
also in the top lane, Swiper is being bullied. Fishery.
He's already gone back, picked up a cloth armor for himself with an extra potion just in case. Chippy's going to be happy in this lane assignment for now, especially with Spooks being set so far behind. He doesn't have to worry too much about the Maokai getting into his lane. In fact, Shernfire is so far ahead now.
Yeah, Shern's actually done a great job of pathing around, and that's a whole team decision right there. Unless something crazy happens, like a dive bottom lane or something completely out of the ordinary. Shern is going to be so far ahead in this early game. Can see, however, that the bottom lane is going in favor of the Chiefs for now. So they're holding the gold lead okay, even though mid lane is in favor of... enjoy your soup. We actually didn't get it today. This game, too exciting. But what I was going to say is gold pretty even, given the fact that mid lane is so far ahead and Shern so far ahead.
He's making his way towards top side of the map. Swiper was permanently pushed in. He hasn't been able to ward.
Yeah, will ward now. Missed the boomerang catch.
It's not great. Let's see if Shern does stick around. Chippies goes aggressive. Swiper simply dashes away, but now he's going Mega.
I mean, I don't think that really matters all that much. The Mega in this kind of matchup, you can see that Chippies wants to be on the aggressive. One thing I will say about top lane Lucian and why I don't like it is I think Lucian's really mana hungry. We touched on this last game, Fish. However, Swiffer, sorry, gonna get caught out here.
Body bop, slow.
He's in big trouble.
Fantix is on his way. They will let him go, but that's damage dealt. He's already used the potion mid lane.
What I was going to say is that, ooh, that's good harass
Cheeky.
Coming out.
Gets him.
Without access to the blue buff top lane, we'll be interested to see if he can keep up the harass and get through all of the health that Swiper is going to eventually accrue.
Let's see. Chippies has used his teleport to get back into lane top side map. Just went back, picked up a Vamp Scepter.
Control ward. Put that one down into river.
So, Direwolves, they've got top side pushing in their advantage. You expect Fantix to start to slowly win this mid lane thanks to that damage that Shernfire was able to deal.
Yeah. Also the fact that Swiffer does not have any mana at the moment.
But it's bottom lane, which is going in favor of the Chiefs. Raze and Ejim do have the shove
is
priority.
actually destroying Swiffer at the moment.
He is
He's already reached level 6.
Missed the
10
counter.
CS up. And should continue this bullying.
He can drop the Chaos Storm and shove this wave out if he likes. Sprick's still a level behind Shernfire. So early game, very favorable for the Direwolves.
Yep, certainly is.
This doesn't lock the Chiefs out of the game, but it makes it difficult for them to get ahead. The onus is now on Direwolves to try and make those proactive plays.
Direwolves did pick their traditional win lane, win game kind of laning champions, however, with the exception of bottom lane, you have to say. I like Victor's laning phase now, as Jish kind of pointed out in the pre-game interview. Does much better into the control mages since the nerfs, and Swiffer is just getting continually harassed out.
Yeah, he's got a shockwave somewhere. He needs to try and force Fantix out, because he's in kill territory.
Yeah, it certainly is. Could get flashed on.
Both of them running heal in the mid lane as well.
You can see that Shern has now popped around behind mid lane as well, looking to steal away. Blue buff is, however, on vision. So this could be the first window, or the Chiefs could just let it go.
It is going to be gone because no one's there. Spooks is on red buff.
Yep.
Top lane's pushed in, and Super was forced out of lane.
So that's the choice that Spooks has made. He said, you know, we're losing top too hard, we're losing mid too hard. I can't get up there to help you. I'm going to take my red buff instead. And unfortunately for you guys, you're going to have to sit tight and just slowly lose this one and hope that late game we can team fight.
And Sharp's done a good job putting Direwolves in a comfortable position, even as we saw. Baffled Jish quite a bit with the top lane Lucian pick, which is working out in their favor. Now late game is where the Chiefs have to look towards.
20 CS behind.
700 gold lead. There's the Chaos Storm being used. That's going to slowly shove out this wave.
I don't know if I like that one. Swiffer can just freeze the wave up, or he can match the push. You can see that it's a big gold lead, however, nearly 400 just naturally from CS, which is what you want to see. However, potentially an opportunity to dive bottom lane turret now. You can see the Chiefs are moving in.
No teleport for Swiper, but Chippies is down. Spooks was making his way into the bottom lane, but
Yeah,
still level 5.
I think the fact that Spooks is so low level, has gone a Moby Boots rush as well, is what's kind of scared the Chiefs away from making any proactive plays here.
They've grouped up around the blue buff, so Spooks wants to at least give this one to Swiper. Fantasy is coming back from a fresh back throw, upgraded his Hex Core.
Chippy also doesn't have TP, so they can't match that one. That's what pushing bottom lane gives you in this current matchup. See whether they can spot out where Shern is going. You can see they're very conscious of the Direwolves jungler.
Swiper will clear out a couple of wards.
See whether this makes any difference, the fact that he was able to grab the blue buff fish, because Shern took it for himself, of course, you have to remember. Yep. And Spooks did donate his over, so Shern is massively far ahead. About to tick over to level 7. Spooks just got level 6. However, there is a possibility that Spooks, now with the ultimate, can make a play here.
This bottom lane is running cleanse heal, so it is difficult to gank, but they're going for it anyway. Spooks goes in first, underneath the turret, no damage taken, knocks back Destiny, used the wild growth on himself, stun locked from Egypt. He's going to fall to turret, gets a heal, will die. First blood picked up by Raze, but he gets a double kill. Let's see if a Catherine Surprise is going to be able to take down Spooks. It does, so 2 for 2 in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it certainly is, but a big wave now will be shoved into turret. Top lane, they dive Swiper, and he's not up to the task. You can see how low they are, but that is a massive advantage pick up for Direwolves because they will get the first turret.
2 for 2 trade bottom lane. Yes, they probably will lose this bottom lane turret, or will they? Fantix has rotated out. First turret falls for the Direwolves, and Fantix keeps the bottom lane turret alive as well.
Yeah, exactly right, Fish. You can see top lane turret fell down because Swiper had to use everything. Obviously caught Mini. You can see that he was trying... he flashed into him, Fish. You just can't do that if you are Swiper. Nearly got him on the last turret shot, but unfortunately wasn't enough. And now, what is it? 2,000 gold already for the Direwolves in a game that the Chiefs must 2-0 to guarantee themselves top spot.
I mean, still, even if the Chiefs can't 2-0, every game matters for them. As Raze is dead, the perfect play has been caught out.
Don't really understand what he was doing there, Fish. Don't know if you have any insight.
No idea. He died.
But the lane swap is going to come out.
Spooks is level 6. Shernfire is level 8.
Yep.
He is so far ahead, 16 CS up, and as I mentioned, every game matters for the Chiefs. Even if they can't pick up a 2-0, a 2-1 puts them second, 1-2 puts them third, and 0-2 puts them fourth. So they have to look to every single game. Right now, yes, 2-0. But if Direwolves pick up a match, they can't lose hope. Every match guarantees them one less game to play in the gauntlet.
You can see that already the Direwolves have kind of swapped up their lanes. Fantix spent a lot of time bottom, and the duo lane was mid. Chippy, liking his chances up here, gets a very advantageous trade.
Yeah, Swiper can't even get the Hyperprocs in time. In between
He's probably dead.
In between all the spell rotations of Chippies, he can't get Hyperprocs, and that's what Nan needs to trade with.
Yep.
Really good draft coming out of Sharp so far, and Direwolves have played the early game fantastic. We're now approaching mid-game.
How far ahead do you have to be to run only a Gragas tank? I mean, that's the biggest question, right? Because Maokai eventually is going to get tanky, unless he's put incredibly far behind. Nah will get tanky as well. He's probably he's going to have to stop at the Black Cleaver this game, Fish, to be honest. So how far ahead do the Direwolves have to be to run 0 tanks versus this composition? Because that is always going to be the question.
I'm not sure exactly how far they need to be ahead, but they've done a good job because both Swiper and Spooks are the ones that are being shut down heavily.
Yeah, and they're the 2 tanks. That's a good point. I mean, if you're worried about running a tankless lineup, put their tanks behind.
Swiper's effectively not a tank right now. He's got Jarvan's Fist. That's it.
When he's Mega Dar, he's tanky still.
Yeah, when he's Mega. I mean, even Spooks. He rushed Moby Boots on the Maokai.
Yep. Tried to have some impact around Summoner's Rift. Didn't happen. Lane swap now is going to come out of the Chiefs. See whether, as they made the first move, they get any tempo advantage.
So
actually, they just rotate the perfect player back down into the bottom lane to match King.
So with everything settling, it's a 2,000 gold lead for the Direwolves. They picked up first Dragon of the game as well. Most of that lead is top side of the map. Shernfire as well as Chippies. Raze is still about 500 gold ahead of the Cogmore, who has gone back and got a Wit's End.
Yep. Ooh, Ardent Sensor's already there. Ooh. That's what I'm scared about. That ball just did majority of Destiny's health.
He needs to hit him with a shockwave.
If he hits him with a shockwave, even at this stage of the game, used to, we're saying like, you know, level 16 Orianas, these supports are so squishy. Neither of them have a sight stone yet.
Rift Herald just took a chunk out of Destiny as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is dangerous. And they're actually starting it up.
Chiefs pick a fight here. Oh, they've gone for Fantix. He's already used his heal. Doesn't have flash. Should get taken down here. Swiffer getting caught out. Touchdown, Sapling gets him. That'll be Fantix that falls. Swiffer still alive. It will be Rift Herald that gets picked up. And Chiefs can make a play for mid lane turret.
Potentially has to teleport bottom, however.
Yeah, Chippy's already working on this turret. That's going to fall if no one is sent down to answer it.
Mid lane is definitely a more important turret to break, however. So if the Chiefs can put in some work here, get this turret to fall down, then they will take the trade. One kill for nothing, as well as the mid lane turret for the bottom lane turret, is a good trade for the Chiefs.
Certainly is. Rift Herald was picked up, though, so Divals have a turret in their back pocket, so to speak.
Huh, and they didn't even get that turret.
Genfire, though, gets a double body drop, knocks two of them back. Aegon forced to flash early. He is very low. Maokai throws down the ultimate, deters the rest of the Direwolves.
Successful disengage. Swifer needs to go back. Wish I could pronounce names. So that means that Raze or Aegon will have to defend this mid lane turret with the help of probably Spooks. And they've set up the Rift Herald.
This is a big play for the Direwolves. That's going to be able to chunk out mid lane turret at least. Chiefs will be able to defend. Clears out all the minions. They lock down Schönfire under the turret, but Spooks pays for that one. Schön goes back in, though. Let's see if there's enough damage taken down. It's not. And Rift Herald gets a good chunk
Potentially, Aegon should have ultied there.
Yep.
Would have at least got the flash out of Schön, and that's all the initiation this team comp has. However, Spooks falling down just proves how squishy he is, Fish. You already mentioned the Moby boots. So much of jungler's tankiness actually comes from the ability to pick up Mercs or Ninja Tabby against the majority of the team's damage. In this game, Spook's not having Tabby against a Lucian as well as a Kog'Maw might actually mean that he's not as tanky as we're used to seeing Maokai.
On top of that, junglers currently rush health. Cinderhawks first, normally Warmongs or Knight's Vow second. That's not a very tanky position to be in. They rely so much on engaging and disengaging. Get the Courage of Colossus stacks up, you know, get a big shield, and then run away when that wears off. But right there, they caught him out. Spooks making questionable calls so far, but it's still only a 2,000 gold lead for the Direwolves. Infinity Edge was complete by Raze.
Another thing we should probably point out is the fact that we have a crit 80 carry again, but also the other reason people like to run hyper carry Tristana comps is because of how mobile she is, Fish, and the ability to jump in and out of fights. The buff that we gave her when Satchel charge after 5 auto attacks also resets rocket jump now, makes it even more of the case. Schön might be caught out here.
Just makes sure that if you're winning a fight, you will win the fight hard.
But also means that if you get caught out, you know, Black Shield plus Rocket Jump to reposition certainly is worthwhile.
Ardent Sensor picked up by Aegon as well, so Black Shield will give that over to anyone who needs it.
Also has Stoneborn Pact as well as Binds, so has multiple ways to be able to proc that one.
Hey!
Also picked up for Destiny.
Welcome to the meta of Ardent Sensor.
It is going to be the Frozen Mallet picked up first item for Swiper, and you can see that, let's watch how many times he does it. But on this side of Summoner's Rift, Swiper on spawn will just take Krugs. And it's a mental thing, because all of a sudden you look like you're building your way back in on the CS. Obviously that means Spooks will fall a little bit further behind on CS, but you can see that Swiper, who was down about 25-30 CS, now is nearly even. Takes the whole culling.
We'll go Mega, so he gets some health back. You really needed to not take that culling to the face, so trade effectively in Mega Gnar.
Needed to either go Mega Gnar earlier or back away.
Yeah,
Fish.
Turret's gone.
Didn't do either. Turret will be gone. And you can see that that will be even more gold picked up for Chippies.
Big collapse from the Chiefs, so they're all pinging on the way bottom.
Yeah.
Flash forward from Spooks. They get Schön. He does have flash himself as well as ultimate. They throw out the ultimate from Maokai. Poor position on it, but doesn't get anything.
Bad angle. If that was a better angle, they would have been able to grab that. And now mid lane's under fire. Raze also takes a laser there. Needs to be careful, Fish.
Gravity Field delays them getting back into this lane. Instead, they catch out Spooks. Schönfire on top of the Maokai will heal up from his passive. Good use of Twisted Advance to avoid the ultimate, but now he's in trouble. Even Dragon joins the fight. Swiper wants to do something, but he can't find an avenue to get in. And Ocean Dragon number 2 may fall here. Chiefs looking to try and steal it. Won't be the case. Schönfire gets taken down, but look at Swiper. He's forced to run away from Chippies. And big trade coming out. does go slightly in favor of the Direwolves, but good turnaround from Swiffer.
Yeah, double Ocean Drake's going to be crucial as this game progresses, because if the Direwolves want to split push, want to continue to 1-3-1, there is no better dragons to have than the Oceans, because you can duck into the jungle fish, especially if you have a little bit of lifesteal, and you will come back full health, full mana every time, which means that, you know, those weaknesses of Lucian that we've been talking about are not going to exist for Chippies this game.
Next dragon to spawn is going to be a mountain dragon here.
That man on your screen is Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is the last hope of the Chiefs getting first place, potentially, in this game.
The perfect player.
Has got himself probably Infinity Edge and Zeal item on this shop. Antics wants to be able to take down this turret. Swiffer and Spooks are both here, however, so probably not going to be able to do it this way, Fish.
Well, let's see. Still no completed Zeal item for Raze.
Didn't get it.
King with the cheaper build has completed his Hurricane. 3 kills as well on the Kog'Maw does help out.
I mean, Raze has also been the person that picked up the 2 turret gold, which is why I thought he would have it, even though he has a more expensive build. Certainly is easier to be able to pick that up if you have turret gold. You can see Destiny and Shern starting to group up to take down some of these wards.
Moving towards mid lane, that turret is very low. Dark Binding whiffs.
That should be the turret.
Let's see if they can stop it. Ultimate comes out, knocks Swiffer back, but doesn't get anything for it. Turret is going to fall eventually. King getting a couple of auto attacks off. And Dark Bindings again whiffing from Ejim in crucial situations.
Yep. So not able to put down the damage that he wants to be able to. Can see Shern is going towards Knight's Vow, which probably makes sense of why he picked up the Merc Treads Fish, because he's going to have a lot of armor items coming out, but not all that magic resistance at the start of the game.
Him and Juice one of the first to start picking up second item Knight's Vow and junglers. Especially coming into Rift Rivals.
Yep.
But as things stand, Direwolves have picked up a slightly larger lead for themselves, 3,000 gold up.
Yep.
Spooks has been put really far behind. He wants his Knight's Vow as well. Swiper just needs to farm up, get double items, and start contributing to team fights more than Chippies.
That's the goal for both of the members of the Chiefs that are very far behind right now. I mean, also Swiffer is 700, 800 gold down, so we can't undersell that either. But for, you know, the likes of Spooks and Swiper, they need to be more useful in the team fight, and Chippies and Shern need to play their roles. Chippies needs to become a very big split-pushing threat, and Shern needs to make sure that his disengages are on point from these tanks. Because if they aren't, then the Chiefs comp can still run over the top. Funnily enough, with enough Krug takes, Swiper now looks like he's equal in CS. He's not. Most of his CS are worth 10 gold.
Chippies has been doing well on the Lucian. I'm curious to see how his team fight goes. Because Lucian's still a strong champion to have late game.
Yeah, so
Lucian
Swiper
was used
equal in CS behind 1.3k gold. There we go. But how will they know that? Because he's taken the Krugs.
500 gold lead mid lane.
He's also taking red jungle. This is hilarious. Obviously, he's very aware of the fact that Chippies could steal it. So just wants to be able to take that one off. Baron is now the big play.
So it's a big lead for Direwolves in the top lane. It's about 500 to 700-ish lead everywhere else around the map.
Yep.
Oh, good trick. Static Shiv was picked up by the Tristana.
Yep. That's a big deal. Spooks, however, is starting to get starved fish. You can see that Chippies just took his Krugs. He got his wolf, that's it. Swiffer then ducked in and picked up his chickens. And Spooks is not going to see a camp for the rest of the game.
Life of a jungler. Might as well go pretend at this point. Get your own targets. Get some coins.
Looks like Asterix Gauge is going to be the next item picked up for Swiper. Or, no, he's not going Titanic Hydra, so it must be Asterix. Very interesting purchase.
Very curious.
Obviously wants some offensive flavor, but still wants to be a little bit more tanky.
Might have misread his build. Normally I go Black Cleavers. Asterix is next, right? Oh crap, I can't have 2 frozen melons. Let's see how it pans out. So far, it's very quiet between Direwolves and the Chiefs.
But it has been a fantastic early game from the Direwolves. 22 minutes in, they're in complete control. They're hitting the items that they want to be at. As you can see, second item coming in for Chippies now.
Black Cleaver.
He's got the big cooldown reduction. Knight's Vow picked up. Banshee's Vow picked up. Across the board, they are sitting very, very pretty.
So what's the next step in this match? What do we expect to happen?
I mean, Direwolves need to start getting their 1-3-1 to actually pressure some outer turrets, whereas the Chiefs just want to keep stalling. They want to keep jockeying for position on these shops, make sure that they don't get a Baron snuck on them. If this is a Fire Drake, it would be an absolute nightmare for the Chiefs, but I don't think it is.
Nope, just a mountain.
Yeah, just a mountain. So that's all they have to do. They just have to keep stalling this game out. They need Tristana to get towards the 100% crit, as well as the ability for Swiper to tank up these team fights, because you can see right now he's still a very squishy man. And he did. He mispurchased.
Oh no, he sold it and picked up a Phage. That's going to set him back.
That is a tilt-up.
No, not great.
I think you just have to commit at that point. They flash on him.
Jump on towards Swiffer. He's getting locked down. Under half health, but only shown fire there. He's going to be taken down. They turn it around, but Swiffer's now inside the Chaos Storm. Chippies gets to the backlines, but good Gnar comes out of Swiper. They lose their mid lane carry, but they get a 2-for-1.
Here goes
Fantix getting jumped on by the Tristana, forcing Fantix to jump away.
And that was an overreach out of Chippies. You can see how disappointed he is. Normally a man on a fighter actually thinks he has access to the back line, but he doesn't have it. He gets exhausted, he gets thrown into the wall, and there's nothing he can do. Couple of kills picked up for the Chiefs members, as well as a Dragon and a confidence team fight. When the game was going really poorly, to the point where they were mispurchasing items, Fish, to get something like that against the flow is going to feel very good.
No, Fantix, stop. What is... they'll still get it. Stop resetting buffs.
Generally, the Direwolves don't do it, Fish, so I think
plague.
they get one.
It's all Sybil's fault. He started this.
You can see that Raze and Ejim still want Fantix. They are pointing out the fact that he needs to run. This could potentially be top lane turret as well, Fish, because they have no one else in the area to be able to match it.
Second Zeal item starting to be picked up by Raze. He's well and truly online.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Do you like the Banshee's Veil pickup for Fantix very early?
I think he has to, otherwise Swiffer just one-shots him. Gone are the days of being able to get extra health for him. Ward has spotted this one out, I think. No, it hasn't, so they don't know what's happening.
And now they use the Scrying Orb. Destiny comes around.
They have to back off. Ooh, do they have to back off? Raze obviously thinks they can still go for it.
They get the cancel from Chippies. Swipers was down. He completed his teleport, so Chippies should be able to catch up, and they'll be close to even in terms of cooldown.
Yep. It's actually pretty big out of the Chiefs. So the Chiefs, this is exciting, Fish. This is a macro that the Chiefs were known for when they were on top of the OPL. You know, not overcommitting to it. They know that they've got the tank, so they can sit on it for a little bit longer. Soon as the teleport has been started, they just back away.
As much as Swiper did make a mispurchase, he has completed his double items. So he's effectively a Zeal behind Chippies, 1,300 gold.
But when can he ever fight it?
I think you need gargoyles. I don't think, actually, no, I don't think he can fight Chippies. I don't think you can ever fight the Lucian, even at 6 items.
Yep, I agree. So it depends on, actually, potentially with Randuin's and Thormail. If he goes double armor items here, I think he can stop the split push at least.
I think he needs at least the Cinderhulk item, not Cinderhulk, the Bramble Vest.
Yeah.
Because previously...
Ejim's been caught out here, Fish. Sorry to interrupt you.
He's fine. Good route. Previously, split pushing tanks always lose once the aggressor gets lifesteal. Chippies has it first item. Direwolves will pick up a free turret here as well.
Yeah. Very nicely done. Nothing in life is really for free, but they just jockeyed their way around the map so well there.
Ejim's looking for a pick here. He's standing very far up. Throws it, hits Shurtfire. There's going to be Swiper coming in as well. Spooks tanks up the front line, throws out the ultimate the wrong way. He gets taken out straight away. Swiper can't go Mega in time. He has to bail. Ejim now the target for Chippies. Gets exhausted. Raze puts a few shots into the Lucian and knocks him back. Good binding delays Destiny from getting any further closer. But is that going to be the Baron?
Because you can see King's already there. The call is so clear from the Direwolves. Start up the Baron. You can see that King is just like, where the heck is my damn team?
Yeah.
He's already been able to take down Scuttlecrab and the Ward.
They started. Swiper's gone back to base. No teleport available for Gnar. Fantix is mid lane, but Direwolves don't need him to take this down.
Up and available.
Let's see if he can get one off. No flash for Swiffer. It's going to be hard.
I think it's just gone.
That's gone. Direwolves will be able to pick up Baron, and Raze gets jumped up by King. He flashes for a big shockwave. Not enough damage to take down the puppy, and they will get 2 kills and a Baron for themselves.
Terrific play out of the Direwolves. They were jockeying for position around the mid lane. They made the Chiefs antsy, and for some reason, the Chiefs just felt like they had to fight their Fish. They could have backed away. They could have let the game continue to stall out, but they weren't patient, And that's a crucial error in this best of 3.
Aggressive play as well from King, not afraid to flash forward, even into the shockwave. Backs out at the right time as well.
Yeah, I think that was a silly play from him. You can say good play. I'll say that Fantix saved him. Fantix 4, 1, and 2, looking very comfortable on the Victor.
Lich being already picked up. He's got 8 stacks on his Dark Silver blasting one to
Swiper
boot.
in some trouble now.
Going Mega soon.
Raze
Does have Raze close by. Do they jump onto Destiny? Rocket jump over, slams Schönfire into the wall, but now King has collapsed. Chippies gets in the backlines on Raze, throws out the Cully. Egypt's almost dead as well. Good collapse, locks down the front line, but they lose Spooks again. 2, 5, and 4 on the Maokai.
Yeah, potentially they can pick up Chippies here, however.
Ziffer wants it, throwing out the command attacks.
Has a flash still available.
Uses the heal first, shockwave through, gets that kill.
But mid lane is going to breach the base. So whilst they kill Chippies, and I'm sure it felt good to do that, the Chiefs are unfortunately going to lose their mid lane inhibitor.
Such clean play out of the Direwolves. We compliment them as being one of the few teams that can play without heavy initiation. Only Schönfire to rely on. They're playing this team competition incredibly well.
But the problem is the Chiefs are actually just throwing themselves at them, Fish. So it's not really the fact that they don't have initiation, it's the fact that the Chiefs are just not playing patient League of Legends. And at every corner, the Direwolves this game have made them pay to what is a 10,000 gold lead nearly. This is absolutely stellar League of Legends.
And this is shutout Swiper. They picked the Gnar early to try and deny that ban from the Direwolves and get a good top lane matchup. But the Lucian top has really crippled Big Swips.
Yeah, he certainly has. And now Big Swip's finally going to go towards his Gargoyle Stone Plate. He needs some tank items. The Chiefs as a whole just needed to let themselves scale because this aggressive play has not worked, Fish.
Drop the boomerang. Do Direwolves only need a single map victory to head into the grand finals? Or do they still need to beat the Chiefs?
That's all. They just need the map victory.
That's all they need to play for here. One win is enough. They get straight into the grand finals.
You can see the top lane actually, Razor's jumped onto Chippies.
Oh, gets the solo kill.
Kiwi on Kiwi, and Raze comes out the better man. Obviously, he is actually the AD carry player, but now with Infernal Drake up, what do the Chiefs actually get for giving away the objective?
Maybe top lane outer, but that's about it. So turret will
Potentially
fall.
he can keep going. I mean, he is a Tristana. Empowered recalls are there, but he got cancelled.
So he's going to continue going. Chiefs also ping out mid lane inner turret. They want to apply some pressure. Raze will work on this one. Satchel charges down, but minion dies, so can't get as much damage down as he'd like. Ardent Sensor going to keep him quite healthy here.
They need to get out, however. You can see Shern's already coming across. That will be a red buff going over to Spooks. Doesn't really matter. They just wanted to take it away, and they will successfully disengage.
So, Infernal Dragon for a kill and a turret. Baron buff still ticking for the Wolves.
When you're 10,000 gold behind, that's probably worth, because now they're only 7,000 behind.
It could be a Last Whisper for Raze, which would be a big pickup.
Needs to be a Last Whisper.
It is. So now Schönfire has to be careful jumping into the front lines.
Shern is very tanky, however, Raze will still shred him. You can see Raze level 15. All the experience that is on Chippies and is on Fantix has been taken away from King, because in a winning matchup, you're generally ahead levels. He's just ticked over to level 16 now, Fish, but you can see how much of their resources the Chiefs are willing to give to the young New Zealander in hopes that he can carry this game.
Let's see if it's enough. The perfect player needs to put up a perfect
Spirit Visage
performance.
from King.
Wow. Very defensive item.
I mean, as I said, he doesn't really get any more damage from this point on.
Yep.
Potentially can get himself Frozen Mallet to try and card out Spooks a little bit more, although Flash Twisted Advance means that Spirit Visage, I like it because it's probably just going to have a shockwave on his head.
Amplifies healing from everything.
That's true as well.
Warlords as well as the Ardent Sensor procs he gets from Destiny.
A pretty face. Shern's actually behind experience from Spooks somehow.
Spooks has caught up well, but Direwolves are still commandingly in the lead. Chippies is split pushing against Raze. Don't think you want your most fed player to be top lane at the moment.
I mean, he's already won the one-on-one once, however. So that is a positive. Negative is that Chippies can teleport to the fight and Raze cannot.
They do catch out Shern, but they don't initiate onto the tank again.
Raze is here. Probably means that someone has to go answer that split push in the top lane.
I feel like the whole team is rotating up for the Direwolves. Take down that final outer turret. Mid lane still pushing with super minions. Swiper's on the bottom lane.
Spooks is being caught out. Oh, Black Shield had to be burned. And now they can just aggressively posture for this turret.
Big respect from Raze. He jumps all the way back, clears out the mini wave with Static Shiv, but King's just like, sure, I've got a shield, I'll just hit this turret.
Yep.
Swiper's gone back to base. He just hit Mega though. He cannot teleport mini and jump in Mega. That's going to be down for some time.
But you can see the Chiefs, they're still pretty confident. 8,000 gold behind. But their 80 carry has 3 items. Swiper has now finally got his Gargoyle Stone Plate. He is a tank for the first time this whole game, Fish. On the side, let's check in with... So it will probably be a Frozen Mallet or a Randuin's picked up for King. Potentially Randuin's could be good here, actually. Mega Gnar counts as a crit into a wall. You're going to have crit coming out from Raze as well. As I said, he does a lot of damage, and he doesn't really have to be the sole carry.
Just needs to live. We have the Mikhail's Crucible coming out for Destiny with Redemption.
That's a huge pickup because that means he's a full item ahead. For nothing else, it shows you the tempo of this game.
Chiefs are waiting patiently in this brush. Shermfire body slams over, puts a wall down, spots out the Wild Orianna.
Now they can potentially engage onto Ori as well. Don't want to, however.
Chippy still pushing the bottom lane, level 17 on the Lucian.
And
Black
this
Cleaver.
is the man they have to stop. Going towards his Infinity Edge. What is he? Pretty much a full item ahead of Swiper.
It's all damage as well. There's no way Gnar can go to it. 14,000 gold to just under 12. Not great.
What?
Jungle's getting fairly even.
How you
600
rounded
away.
Chippy's up and Swiper just stayed exactly where he was. Theatric. Ooh, Raze actually walking forward aggressively here.
Gets good damage on Fantix. Gonna walk around from the CC.
Very goodness gracious, I love watching Raze and King play AD carry. The way they just maneuver their champion while still auto-attacking is very impressive, Fishery.
Very patient play from both teams. Chiefs, 9,000 gold down. I was so far ahead, but not pulling the trigger yet.
They need to still play the game properly because, as we said, they're on a hard-to-execute comp. The Chiefs would be happy with just stalling this one out. They feel if it all gets to 6 items, that eventually, surely the Gnar has to be useful at some point in the game, they will say.
Ooh,
Shern gets hit.
Good damage. Gravity Fuel denies Chiefs an opportunity to engage on the front line of Direwolves.
Yeah, they need to stop throwing spooks in first. That didn't work out in the past.
Surface here.
IE has been picked up, however.
Everyone's mid lane. Chippies dives in. That's aggressive. Fantix throws out a laser as well. Sin's not in this game, but this is an ARAM if I've ever seen one.
Certainly is. Spooks took a lot of damage there from a laser, Fish.
Side lanes are pushing in favor of the Wolfpack. Hop away from Swiper. He does not want to be
Look
caught.
at the range of Tristana with that rapid fire cannon.
Gets King. Tags him with quite a few attacks, but he's so tanky. He's a tank. He can just frontline.
Spooks needs to go back. Spooks is so low, and that could mean the Baron will be started up.
Big wave bottom. Small wave building top side of the map. They do have teleport on Swiper.
Red buff going to be picked up for King. Also going to grab himself some Krogs.
The Krug Goblin.
That's a very low level Krug, however. So no experience going to come out of that, just some gold.
Level 17 on the Cogmore. Ray is going to hit 18 soon. Waiting for his final
I wonder
item.
if Spooks gets himself Warmog. The reason I ask that is we've seen kind of ARAM style play so far as you described it, Fish. And do you know what the best tank item on ARAM is?
Warmogs.
Warmogs. You know why? Because you just leave combat for about 2 seconds and you're full health.
So there's a big play to take on the map. Elder Dragon and Baron are both up at the same time.
Yep.
They can try and trade sides.
They can. Shern is very low.
He's not going to heal up too
They need
much.
him to stop taking damage. You
Waiting
can
for
see
his
that
passive.
they're 2-manning Baron as we speak.
Ooh, they do take down the Skying Elves. Raze and Spook still on it. They get it
Shern
down very low.
so incredibly low.
Are they going to try and burst this out? Chiefs have to turn around here. 2,000 health, 3,000. They stop hitting it, but they still maintain aggro. Raze has maintained aggro.
Yeah, for some reason, Raze just wants to keep hitting it.
This could fall. Chiefs might burst it. They do go for the burst, and they get it, and they do, but
They need
Swiffer's
to get
so
out.
low. Redemption already used. Chiefs just have to back out, and it's a net win. Swiper hops away. Direwolves are cutting off their back. Swiffer gets
Swiffer's gonna
interrupted. He needs to just sacrifice his life. Egypt's going to go back to base. They jump on Swiffer. Now Egypt's probably going to die as well.
Yeah, exactly right. Now what do they get on the other end? I think that Spooks and Raze need to sprint towards that Elder Dragon because that will be be the target for the Direwolves. Direwolves may also just potentially look at trying to break the base in another area. That's what the call is.
Potentially. Raze can take this one down quite quickly by himself. Spooks will come out, give a smite, and recall back. First turret already being hit by the Direwolves. That's going to fall shortly. There are empowered recalls for the Tristana and the Maokai, but this inhibitor turret should fall here.
Yeah, it certainly will, because Swiper's not even back there. So they're
mid-lane.
trying to push out all the waves simultaneously, and that will bite them. I feel like with Swiper, they could have stopped this maybe, Fish.
Spook's going to take a lot of damage from Cogmore. That's just a few auto
He's
attacks,
dead.
and he's dead. Throws out the ultimate in time. A look at King just going forward. Flash forward from Fantix as well. Direwolves might try and finish this game right here.
Yeah, they certainly can look towards it. No minions, however, means that they just have to stop at one. Chippies is being
Swipe's
chunked
going
out.
mega. He does have flash. Let's see if he goes in. Big Gnar back stuns both the carries. Shockwave whiffs, but they're still going for the fight. The perfect player still in it.
He's going.
Reset one. Got Fantix. Only King of Destiny left up. Does Raze pull the trigger? He looks like he wants it, but it's just so difficult against a Cogmore.
Yeah, it certainly is. Cogmore, Lulu, you don't want to jump headfirst into that. However, Direwolves got what they came for. Against both the buffs, they're able to break the base in 2 areas as well as take down a Nexus turret. But the Chiefs, they're just holding on.
They maintain their gold lead as well, the Direwolves. They will lose bottom lane inner turret, but they're still 8,000 gold up.
Where is Raze going? Let's take another look at this. All right, so they've already taken down Spooks. However, Big Gnar into double stun. Everyone had to flash out of that shockwave. Don't know if you can call it a whiff. Raze marches forward then. Rapid fire cannon, Tristana, disgusting range.
And he just can't push for the last 2.
He actually got the turret. No, he didn't.
Bottom lane inner already fell.
Yeah.
He wanted that, couldn't get it, just did some counter jungling instead. Sitting on a Hex Trinket for Raze.
And now you can see that King's kind of at a crossroads. What do I want to do? He says. So I sell one item and I pick up an Infinity Edge.
He's got IE Frozen Mallet.
Do I become an actual tank, he says? I don't know if selling the Spirit Visage was actually smart, Fish.
Well, he's a proper 80 carry now.
If he gets hit by a shockwave, he won't be though.
True. He's going to really rely on Destiny to keep him up.
And you could see that he'd already shredded through Spooks' health. Like, he didn't need more damage to kill the tankiest member on the Chiefs.
Let's see if this changes things. King is so far ahead though. 8-1-5, 402 CS. Yes, Ray is at full build now. Picked up more.
Aren't they exactly even?
True, but
both have 6 items.
When you've completed a Spirit Visage, sold it, and picked up a full Infinity Edge,
Yep.
oh.
But from this stage forward, they're going to start wasting gold. As we've already seen, I mean, Swiper has picked up a Randuin's Omen. He's going to go back. He's probably going to get himself something like a Spirit Visage, maybe an Adaptive Helm.
Yep. So Fantix and King, full build. Shurnfire is sitting on a Dark Seal as his last item, and Last Whisper already picked up from Chippy. So he's effectively full build.
Yep.
Top lane still 1 item away. Jungle, 2 items away at the moment for Spooks. And even Swiffer mid lane's an item behind. Once they can start to bridge the gap a bit more, if they can delay as long as they already have, they'll be fine.
But that becomes incredibly difficult because you can see Swiper right now is actually struggling against the Super Creeps. So we'll be able to take them down here, but that means that all this time they're just going to be able to shove into this lane. Once again, they have to put Raze against Chippies because Chippies, he's a 6-item 80 carry as well.
Yep.
You can't put a tank one-on-one against a 6-item 80 carry.
Tristana should win that still. Thanks to, oh no, she doesn't. What?
He dashed forward.
Chippies just
double
dashes on his face.
Yeah. Potentially
Flash
can
dash,
look for, yeah, I was going to say could potentially look for that flash that you mentioned, Fish. Does not go for it. And because the creeps weren't there at the same time, this will just be a delay for the Chiefs.
Chiefs are still holding on here. Making sure that these minions stay away from the turrets and no one can dash in. Chippy's inside the base, dashes out, perfectly fine. This game's on a knife's edge and it doesn't look like it in terms of gold.
Yeah, exactly right. But we're finally seeing the big carry threats come online. Rabadon's death caps are finished up as well, Fish.
Ooh.
What, maybe a Zonya's, that's all. Or a Banshee's Veil that's going to be picked up for Swiffer. But everything else is absolutely fine.
So Swiper dealing with top lane. Razors come down. Shurnfire has to be careful.
Yep.
And Chiefs repel another attack from the Direwolves.
And the scary thing for the Direwolves right now is that they've led the whole game. But they're running a tankless lineup apart from Shern, who's gone back and he's picked himself up Aranduans. Well, makings of Aranduans with that Warden's Mail. But if the Chiefs win one team fight now, cleanly, it's probably game over just because of the pushing power of Tristana. If Direwolves win any form of a team fight, clean, messy, one person called Destiny survives, they probably win the game as well, Fish.
One Nexus turret
But
left.
they've led for all 43 minutes so far and just have not been able to close that door.
And they just need one win. Direwolves need one win to go into the grand finals. They can taste it. Inhibitors are respawning for the Chiefs.
Since they made the trade, since they stuck to Shern as their solo jungler, they haven't looked like a nervous team at all, Fish. Big games haven't got them. Little games haven't gotten to them. They've been able to play the game cleanly. However, this game means more than anything. To beat the Chiefs and clinch a grand final berth for your team would be huge.
It certainly would. Chiefs are looking for their redemption. They lost 2-1 to the Direwolves at the start of the split. All 3 games were one-sided.
Raze, ooh, gets chunked out. See straight away as Shio goes onto him.
So, as things stand, complete build for everyone on the Direwolves except for Shernfire, sitting on 1 item. Spooks is even with Shern. Top lane, half an item behind. Mid lane, half an item behind. There's not much longer that the Chiefs have to stall for.
Greeting for it.
Gets the red, but takes so much damage. Will hop out and gets a shield. Chiefs have to retreat. Baron's coming up in 3 seconds.
Exactly right. Is that enough? They took so much damage. Spooks and Raze just got chunked out for a red buff.
Raze can heal up, that's fine. 1 auto attack and he's next to full. They actually
flash
catch
forward.
Shernfire with the bind. Shockwave pulls him back. He gets knocked back. Don't know. Raze, that's a mistake. Still kills him. Key gets flashed on, but they shut down the AD carry. Look at Key. He's firing away. Nobody is touching the combo. Chippies jumps back in, gets on top of Swiffer. The Chiefs have to retreat. Greedy play from Raze almost works, but they do get for the 2-for-1.
Yeah, 2-for-1 trade, but you can see the Direwolves, they're still staring at this Baron buff. They want it so bad. King marching forward.
They want to go for it. King gets stuck. He's going down. Jumped on by a Nah. Spooks jumps in as well. But they got Swiffer. Spooks is going to fall as well. Chippies is going to take over this team fight. He gets a double for himself. Only Egypt left up. 28 seconds on Raze.
And this could be game. They're actually teleporting in. Egypt misses the bind.
That is probably going to be game. Chippies and Destiny marching towards the Nexus. 19 seconds on Raze. It might just barely be enough if Egypt can put up a miracle.
There. I don't know if he can do this. Chippies actually goes towards Egypt.
Egypt locks him down. That's 8 seconds while Raze comes back up, but he's the only one that's going to be alive. He needs to somehow 2-on-1 a Lulu AD carry combo. Direwolves onto the Nexus. Raze has respawn. Rocket jumps in. Wildgrove comes out early. Knocks back the Lulu. Goes to the 1-on-1. Not going to happen. Chippies gets the ace. Nexus goes down. Direwolves will head straight into the grand finals.
What a play out of King in that last team fight to be able to get caught, but turn around and do enough damage to allow that man on your screen, Chippies, to pick up a victory. The Chiefs, they stuck into it for, what, 45 minutes, but in the end, the Direwolves were able to come out ahead.
Now the tough task for the Chiefs is Direwolves. Next 2 games, they don't matter. They're in the grand finals.
They punched their ticket.
It's done. There will be 2 splits in a row heading straight into the grand finals. But the Chiefs, they're still playing for position in the top 4. Every single game from here on out decides where the Chiefs will finish. Every win puts them 1 step ahead from 4th, and every loss knocks them down 1 more.
And that game hurts. When you stick in a game where there's carries everywhere, but you feel that you have the scaling, you have the tanks, to lose that game in that manner, that really is a kick in the guts for the Chiefs, but they have to somehow be able to pull themselves up and actually be able to be competitive in the next 2 games. They need these wins. They do not want to have to go through Avant, Sin, Legacy, Direwolves to get to Worlds. I mean, just going through the Direwolves appears to be a pretty tough task, Fish.
Yep, and now,
so they need the 2nd place finish.
And now for the Direwolves, it's only 3 games for them to actually make it into Worlds. It's a big split performance coming out for them in split number 2 here. Solidify themselves as grand finalists, but there's still an entire series to go. For now, let's send it back to the analyst desk to break down game number 1.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and congratulations to the Direwolves. They will finish 1st place.
I got so much I want to say. Whoa. I don't want to see no celebrations from Direwolf players. It's not over. We need the 2-0. We need the 2-0. I don't care about being unbiased, biased analyst. 2-0 or nothing. Or it's not a win. I don't care. I don't care about this 1-0 celebration in grand final. You need to win the next game.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yes. That's my piece done. Go, you can talk now, Aaron. Choo-choos.
Yeah, I mean, I need a 2-0 or 2-1.
You don't need what I need.
They both work for me. But yeah, you need a 2-0, don't you?
No, I need a 2-0.
You need a 2-0. But to
Right.
talk about the actual game.
Onto the game.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to talk?
I just want to say one thing about Pickman real quick. I got excited. Sorry, I'm very excited. That was a good series.
Go for it, yeah.
All right. I'm not a big fan of Dial's team composition. They had a 9K gold lead. Sure, they got the 9K gold lead through their comp, but like they just couldn't close the game out. I feel like they were grouping with Lucian. They were trying to 5v5 with a composition that does not 5v5. Like, just send Lucian to a side lane. He doesn't have to get the tower. Just force pressure, bring pressure to you, and then execute a play on the other side of the map.
I like that comp. I thought it was a really nice comp to bring out in game 1, especially the level 1. You were offended, are you? But the level,
felt like the Chiefs took like sort of 10 minutes just to work out what was going on with this Lucian.
And yeah, like the level 1 put Spooks behind a lot, especially when he gave the enemy blue buff to Swiffer, had to run back to his own jungle. Like this guy was 2 levels down. But I do want to praise Chiefs for sticking in that game. I know Jake was saying that that's probably one of the most crushing games, especially being game 1 of this series. But Chiefs held on so well, and I want to say both AD carries that game were the star players for me. I thought King and Raze.
Big agree.
Yeah, probably like some of the best gameplay you're going to see from Oceania.
Well,
absolutely.
Because especially Raze and King have both had big question marks put above their head in comparison to other bot lanes in the region.
That's also true.
So for both of them actually just played insane games in my opinion. And so yeah, props to both of those 80 carries.
Yeah.
Did you feel like this, like it was just obviously a very stressful match?
I mean, we were stressed backstage. Like, people are like...
But I feel like both these teams are raising their game for this occasion.
Yeah, I mean...
That was some of the cleanest league
as I said,
I've seen from both teams.
Yeah, it was just really like... good League of Legends, and like you could definitely say that Direwolves could have closed the game out early. Like they were 9K gold behind, ahead, but then Chiefs were doing really good to stay in it. And then I also thought Direwolves were just playing around Baron respawning, and like the first one would go down, and then they'd be like, okay, let's just wait 6 minutes, and then we'll try to do it again. And you could just see like both teams had so much respect for each other, and it really was on a nice edge the entire game, despite it being 10K difference. Yeah.
But it really felt like we were looking at just top tier teams.
Yeah, like both of these players. Like I mean, every single player on the Summoners Rift played so well today. The big thing I want to outline is the Black Shield about to come through. So a great flash engage coming out of Shernfire, but Ejim is so quick to react to this fast engage coming out. A good Victor ultimate comes through. Chippies, I don't know what you're doing in there, but he does manage to salvage the kill of Swiffer. Fantix flashes out, but really, this is just insane mechanical play coming out of every player, really. And
generally, when you see team fights like that in smaller regions, I would say, it's like, oh, who made the mistake to lose the team fight? But I think like this was really like actual good play from everyone. Sure, like maybe the engage was a mistake, but it wasn't like it was the execution was bad, the micro wasn't bad. It was just that Ejim's Black Shield was really good.
It was actually, I had to, when I just saw how fast he reacted, and if Shernfire did get that cask off because he comboed correctly, Oriana would have flown right into his team. That's a winning team fight. So it was good intentions from both teams, but just great micro performance from Ejim.
Since we're on the micro, I'm going to go to macro. Direwolves and Chiefs showed some very good macro, but specifically, Direwolves macro this game led to this team fight mid here. They eventually bring everyone mid, got a good pick, probably overzealous from Spooks, but then they go to Baron, right? And you think that the Chiefs aren't going to contest, like you just think it's free.
Double 80 carry comp.
Double 80 carry comp, melts Baron. Instead, Chiefs come over, do the Baron, going down. And King just flashes in, absolutely insane. Flashes in, one-shots, Victor gets the one-shot, and this is Baron, and this is pretty much what opens the game up.
That was probably why they that's what really secured like the game for them, because I mean they went from 5K to 8K within
2 minutes really there.
Yeah.
And we were saying that both of these AD carries are looking really good, and we were waiting for Calvin to do something out of the ordinary. King to do something out of the ordinary, and he just flashes forwards and does something like here it is again. He melts Maokai beforehand, flashes the Orianna ult. Just watch this Cogmore like get as much damage out of his kit as much as he can. Raze knows his limits, jumps forward, secures a kill on Victor.
Just mechanics.
Like, it's just so much mechanics going on. Both of these teams are amazing, and I'm so happy. I'm proud of OCE from where it's come, and this next game will be very interesting.
Next game. Yes, very nervous for me.
I know what
very
you want
nervous
to
for me. But no,
want.
next game I think is going to be a lot different in the sense that game one's usually a feeling out process.
Yeah.
Like you kind of see what works for your pick man, what didn't work in game, and I think there's more to learn from this game for Chiefs than there is for Direwolves. Direwolves came in with a plan, and you could see that there was a very specific plan in place, and Chiefs kind of got a bit shocked by it. And it's going to be an interesting second game for sure.
Absolutely. Hashtag I am OPL. Get this trending on Twitter. Let your mates know what we're watching because this is some of the best League of Legends we've seen all split. And the final game of the split, it took us a while to get here, but my goodness, it's built up. Yeah. And Jubes, just to remind everyone the stakes here.
All right.
If Chiefs win this next game, you're locked into 4th place.
Yes, we play Gauntlet.
Right?
Yep.
If they can win the next 2 games, they can come second.
Yes.
And if
Legacy comes 3rd then.
Yep. And then if Direwolves are able to get this next game in 2-0 Chiefs, your boy Sin.
3rd place.
3rd place.
So we skip a Gauntlet game. Oh, there's the graphics. So if Chiefs win 2-1, you can see there, they get 2nd place. So this is huge for them. They actually need that 2-1. Because I can tell you from experience, if you have to play that Gauntlet, it's just it's so taxing on the mind.
Absolutely.
So if Direwolves win 2-1, it's Sin, Avant, Chiefs go 3rd, which is I don't think you want to be in that game.
But if Direwolves can take a 2-0 here, Sin move up into 3rd place in the Gauntlet, your highest ever finish.
That's what you're looking at.
But then Chiefs have to fight their way through the Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm going to be that.
Do the SKT run.
As Shun would say, I'm going to be that roadblock.
Would you say
this isn't a birthday party?
I have a question because you ran the Gauntlet really well last split. Yeah. Is there a momentum element that helps you going into the next set? So would Sin? You probably wouldn't, but would Sin want to start at the beginning, similar to what you did last split?
No, because when it came to the Legacy game, I'm sure if we played 1 series less, we would have ended the series 3-0.
You were just mentally exhausted.
We were just mentally exhausted to the point of where our decisions were just terrible. And even FBI said after game 4 of the Legacy series, he says, "Boys, I'm just cooked. You just can't think. I'm
cooked.
It's 15 games in."
Yeah, in 3 days.
You made them go roasted. All 5 games.
Yeah.
Just quick 30s, quick 30s.
Yeah, you need more subs on your team.
On the topic of it,
you want to play? I've seen your Kalista. You're insane.
Very clean, very clean.
On the topic of mental exhaustion, though, I just want to say that I really hope Chiefs can mentally reset. I think you should be really good at it. Taking notes from NA going into this next game because that is probably a really crushing game to lose.
Absolutely, and they're going to be just sitting there doing the breathing exercises or whatever, resetting, re-looking at their draft. Is there anything in particular you want Chiefs to change in their draft? Because I felt both teams drafted very well, except Direwolves had the edge because it was an unexpected Lucian pick.
I think both teams drafted extremely well. One thing I will say is that Chiefs... I think Direwolves knew Chiefs would tunnel on an R pick. I think that was pretty obvious, and I think Direwolves knew that, and they exploited that with the Lucian pick. Other than that, I think Chiefs learned from that. I think they're not just going to go recklessly picking...
blind picking.
No, it wasn't really a reckless pick either.
No, it wasn't.
Because you wouldn't have expected Lucian.
It was more or less just... I think it was just good, a well-thought, put-together pick ban game 1 from Direwolves. Yeah. And that's all you can put it down to. You can't say, Chief, Jish, you made a mistake. You can't say that. It was... really well thought out game 1 pick ban, I think.
Yeah, we knew that these teams would bring would prepare a lot for this series because it determines first seed, right? Congratulations to Direwolves, they just secured first seed. But I'm curious to see if Chiefs have anything to pull out.
That damage share from Direwolves is actually insane. But the damage share there, the reason why it's so low on Chiefs team, Tristana did top damage, is because the health bars on Direwolves are a lot lower than a double tank cop from Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly.
So the champions from Direwolves have a lot more to hit, a lot more HP to burn through, and that's why you see such inflated damage to champs.
Absolutely.
Whereas on the Chiefs side, the tankiest target they have to hit is a Gragas, and then next is a Lucian.
Really, what we need to do is get our boffins backstage to work out these bar graphs as percentage healths of the total health available to be damaged out at a time.
Are you paying them extra hingers or not?
I'm just saying it's a formula we can work on.
I think it really shows how well Raze like played though, because I mean, you're right that they were playing against a triple threat comp really, and for Raze to do 34k damage, very close to what the Kog'Maw and Lucian put out, just shows that this guy positions and knew his limits so well.
All right, let's take a look at your tweets. #IamOPL. We've been talking all evening about NPCs you would add to the game. This one comes in from Wim Dunker. I would add an NPC, Ejim Aligod, in his Moo Cow skin, who pulls out the cowbell emote when Baron dies.
I wouldn't mind that. I like that skin. I like that skin.
Permanently in game. Would it cause problems if Moo Cow Ali was in game as well? And, you know, there's sort of...
Year 2?
Yeah.
Year 2 going off?
Yeah.
Get a buff around Baron. You play that skin, get a buff around Baron. It's a well-known, it's well-known, actually, that some skins do offer you more damage, more movement speed, and things like that.
What's the best skin for that?
Well, I know Ryoma and Swiffer often discuss skins together since they bet skins against each other. And apparently Queen of Hearts Syndra does -3 damage on her Q. -3. So if you're at home,
a lot,
if you think your Syndra's lacking a little bit, try the change of the skin. It could work.
Queen of Cards.
Who even uses Queen of?
Okay. Well, no one does.
No one. Well, actually, Ryoma, because he lost the Winter Wonder.
All right, tweet at us, #IamOPL, or let us know in Twitch chat which NPC you would add to the Rift. I want an NPC that hangs out with your ward, so when an enemy appears in its vision, it screams, "Oi, mate, look out!"
That's a good one.
That's a great one. That's the best one.
That's a very good one.
That would help a lot in solo queue, so I didn't need to ping as much.
That helped Dokla because Dokla, sometimes I don't know if Dokla doesn't understand my accent or whatnot, but I feel like
I can barely understand your accent, mate.
You can't not understand. Oi, mate, look out! He's gonna be like, bro, what are you saying, man?
Oi, cuz, oi, stop it, oi! No, there's a ward there.
There's no excuses to die when he walks over a ward now.
No excuses.
All right, like we said, #IamOPL. Let us know, or via Twitter or Twitch chat, what NPC you would add to the Rift and what it would do. But for now, it is time for us to get this second match of this deciding Chiefs versus Direwolves. Let's check out some highlights from game number 1.
Back Destiny used the wild growth on himself. Stun lock from Egypt. He's going to fall to turret. Gets a heal. Will die. First blood picked up by Raze, but he gets a double kill. Let's see if the Captain Surprise is going to be able to take down Spooks. It does. So 2 for 2 in the bottom lane. And there's going to be Swiper coming in as well. Spooks tanks up the front line. Throws out the ultimate the wrong way. He gets taken out straight away. Swiper can't go Mega in time. He has to bail. That's gone. Direwolves will be able to pick up Baron, and Raze gets jumped up by King. He flashes for a big shockwave. Not enough damage to take down the puppy. And they will get 2 kills and a Baron for themselves. Let's see if he goes in. Big Nut back stuns both the carries. Shockwave whiffs, but they're still going for the fight. The perfect player still in it. Reset 1. Got Fantix. Only King of Destiny left up. Does Raze pull the trigger? Fire with the bind. Shockwave pulls him back. He gets knocked back. Don't know. Raze, that's a mistake. Still kills him. Key gets flash shot, but they shut down the AD carry. Look at Key. He's firing away. Nobody is touching the Kog'Maw. Chippy's jumps back in, gets on top of Swiffer. The Chiefs have to retreat. They want to go for it. King gets stuck. He's going down. Jumped on by a Nah. Spooks jumps in as well. But they got Swiffer. Spooks is going to fall as well. Chippies is going to take over this team fight. He gets a double for himself. Direwolves onto the Nexus. Raze has respawn. Rocket jumps in. Wildgrove comes out early. Knocks back the Lulu. Goes for the 1-1. Not going to happen. Chippies gets the ace. Nexus goes down. Direwolves will head straight into the grand finals.